In Cuba, peaceful protests took place in the province of Santiago de Cuba over long hours of power outages and lack of supplies. The government authorities of Santiago dialogued directly with the protesters. President Miguel Díaz-Canel went over the situation on his X account. The president stated several people have expressed unconformity with the situation of the electric service and food distribution, a context that the enemies of the revolution are trying to take advantage of for destabilizing purposes. Díaz-Canel warned that in the last hours, terrorists based in the United States have been encouraging actions against the internal order of the country. In this sense, he assured that from his government they seek to attend to the demands of citizens to improve the situation in the midst of the blockade, to continue working in peace to get out of this problem. Cuba will continue to work from peace to solve the current situation. President Díaz-Canel reaffirmed that the needs of the citizens in the face of Washington's blockade will be met. The executive is committed to dialogue and denounced the sectors that are once again trying to destabilize the country. In this context, Foreign Affairs Minister Bruno Rodriguez, in his X account, reminded the United States government, especially its embassy in Cuba, that they should not intrude in the internal affairs of the country, neither encourage social disorder. The foreign minister later on denounced that with the genocidal blockade, they only seek to asphyxiate the country. The tweet continues saying that based on the daily situation of shortages and difficulties, the United States government is waging another war from the platforms they dominate. At the end, Rodriguez highlighted the direct and cruel responsibility of Washington in the acute economic situation that weighs on the well-being of the Cuban people. In Cuba, local news outlets explained the reasons behind the protests that took place in the province of Santiago de Cuba in the eastern region of the country. In this way, they detailed that several people took to the streets on Sunday and made use of their right to demonstrate peacefully as a result of the long hours of power outages that have due to the inability of fuel and other situations derived from the pressure of the blockade. The main demands were related to food and electrical energy. Law enforcement agencies were present at the site to monitor the situation, protect demonstrators, and prevent violent acts that never occurred. Likewise, the authorities of Santiago de Cuba went to the site to dialogue with the population and attend to their demands. The first secretary of the provincial committee of the party in Santiago de Cuba, Beatriz Johnson Urrutia, addressed citizens' concerns about food distribution and electric power supply in the region.
We are currently in Santiago de Cuba, and we are attending to a group of dissatisfactions expressed by a group of people who gathered in front of the executive headquarters of District 3 of the Santiago de Cuba municipality. They were dissatisfied with the supply of electric energy, mainly because of the imbalance of the time blocks, and in general, also with the distribution of food, focused in this case about the milk for children. Information was given to the population, and this moment we are also in a process of partial distribution of the basic food basket, and in the same way, the 3 pounds of rice of the basic basket, the 4 pounds of sugar that are agreed, and a great mobilization of the managers in order to give them answers, because it's now that we have these resources. It is important to clarify that the population of Santiago de Cuba was respectful and listened attentively. Once we were able to locate the audio, the information that was given to them from the direction of the municipality of Santiago, the distribution of milk by the director of the dairy company of Santiago de Cuba, and the explanation that we have on the supply of electric energy, because we know perfectly well the affectations that the national electroenergetic system has due to the problems that the thermoelectric power plants have and the availability of fuel.
On Monday, the U.S. Chargé d'Affaires in Cuba, Benjamin Schiff, was summoned to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs by Deputy Minister Carlos Fernandez de Cosio, who formally conveyed to him the firm rejection of the interference and slanderous messages of the U.S. government and its embassy in Cuba regarding the internal affairs of the Cuban reality. With the delivery of the formal note of protest, being Rex reminded the U.S. diplomat of the minimum standards of decency and honesty expected of a diplomatic mission in any country, and which the U.S. Embassy in Cuba is incapable of observing, while emphasizing that this diplomatic office and its personnel are obliged to behave in accordance with the norms of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. Staying on topic, the Minister of People's Power for Communication and Information of Venezuela, Freddy Alfred Nazareth, replied to the tweet posted by the Cuban president. He reaffirmed the position of Venezuela in defense of the Cuban presidency. The minister declared that in this moment of hardness, aggression by the imperialism, the free world stands by the side of the generous and brave people of Cuba.